let's just jump right into it. We've got a lot of things to discuss in this episode today. First things first, they just jump right into it with going into Dragonstone. Like they don't. I mean, they teased it last episode,
And they jumped straight
Given-
in there.
giving us straight what we want. So first
The
thing, go ahead, man.
The Bastard of Winterfell.
And the dwarf of Casterly Rock finally meet since season 1.
First time they've seen each other in
7 seasons.
Seven seasons, a long time.
So we see Jon and Sir Davos and several of the Stark bannermen make port at Dragonstone. They have every intention to meet with Daenerys and discuss how they can combat and team up and to fight the White Walkers that are about to come through the wall and invade the North. So.
Well, not just the North, but everywhere. Because,
Right, but the North being in the most imminent danger. So with everything going on, Jon knows that this isn't going to be easy. He's not going into, he's not expecting to go in here to be completely successful, but he kind of really doesn't get,
Yeah, I mean, because he's...
really strikes out.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if I come up to you and say, basically, hey, the world's going to end. You have something I need to make sure the world's not going to end. Would you believe me?
Well,
I mean...
okay, here's the thing. It's not so much about the believing part, because I feel like everything going on with Jon and Daenerys is really important. I mean, you have to understand, they're both on really sensitive time crunches, because Daenerys has pretty much her entire army is deployed to different parts of Westeros. We have the Unsullied heading to Casterly Rock.
Mm-hmm.
We have, the Greyjoy fleet
Which
has been
just
decimated.
got destroyed.
Yeah, I was
at
about
the end. Decimated. You stole the words right out of my mouth.
So the entire Greyjoy from, Yara and Theon's Greyjoy army, not Euron's, but Theon and Yara's...
got just a teeny weeny little bit murked.
So we know that only a few ships survived from that.
Two, actually.
Yeah, two ships survived. The biggest thing is that that has already been decimated, and of course the Unsullied are on their way to Casterly Rock, and so and Lady Tyrell, Elena Tyrell, is actually back at Highgarden. So I mean, everyone's kind of scattered. The only people that are actually at Dragonstone right now is Daenerys, and Missandei, Varys, and Tyrion, and a couple of and then some of the Dothraki, but that's it.
That's about it.
And so we have Daenerys is stretched thin. She's on a time crunch. Her resources are stretched thin. She's under a lot of stress, and so with Jon coming in there asking for help,
she needs an ally, which is teased in the episode for next week. I don't know if you guys watch the teaser for the next episode, but spoiler warning: as Jon's about to leave, Daenerys pretty much says, "I need your help," because she's literally lost almost her entire army. And I just want to get into this real quick. I think there might be a snitch in her camp.
well, we both have the same inkling that we think it's Varys.
I've got a small inkling it might be Missandei.
I mean, Missandei. Okay, I don't understand Missandei's unless Missandei. The only way I can see Missandei betraying Daenerys is if she's betraying Daenerys to protect Grey Worm, and to basically be like, hey, listen, Grey Worm, as long as you leave him alive and don't do anything to him, which in reality, I mean, Cersei would crush, like as soon as she got what she wanted from manipulating, she would kill Grey Worm and Missandei. She has no,
like that.
Exactly. I mean, they're slaves, so I mean, or they were previously slaves. So I mean, I don't think it's Missandei. I think it's Varys, because the reason why is at the very beginning of this episode, while Jon and Sir Davos are heading up the steps to Dragonstone or of Dragonstone, we see Melisandre and Varys having a discussion at the highest point on Dragonstone, and she's basically like, okay, well, I'm not going down there, and he's like, you must not be going down there for a reason. What's the issue? And she's like,
She more or less tells him.
she didn't part good ways.
Yeah. Things went a little rocky with me the king of the North.
So where we pick up next, after a lot of the stuff going on at Dragonstone, we know that Euron's fleet, at the end of the last episode, completely decimated Theon and Yara's fleet.
And he took Yara and the last remaining Sand Snake and what's her name, hostage.
You're referring to Ilaria. Ilaria, sorry.
Ilaria. I couldn't think of the name.
So Ilaria and the last Sand Snake and Yara are on their way with Euron to King's Landing. But and we see Theon actually get picked up by what's left of his men, and basically they're like, he's like, I tried to save her, and he's like, well, if you tried to save her, you wouldn't be
alive,
here.
So
well, not so much that he wouldn't be alive, but that he wouldn't be there. I mean, he either would have saved her, and then that's when you can kind of infer, well, if you didn't save her, obviously you'd be dead. Euron would have, if he would. Theon actually was smart. I mean, what he did was cowardly, but Theon basically saved himself and Yara in a way, because if he would have done that, Euron could have reacted, slit her throat and killed Euron. Killed Theon.
We kind of figure. I mean, you mean Yara?
That's what I'm saying. Euron would have killed Yara, and then he would have killed Theon.
Yeah.
And but then we basically cut right back to Dragonstone, because where they leave off with Dragonstone is, remember, Jon and Davos, after they meet with Tyrion at the shoreline, they start heading up. We start having a secret conversation that we see happening between Melisandre and Varys. And so kind of run down and kind of give like, talk about that, like what was going on.
Okay, so basically, Melisandre was sitting there. Varys comes up and says, you begged us to bring the King of the North here. Why aren't you down there to greet him? And Melisandre says, pretty much, I left off on bad terms with Davos and Jon Snow because of decisions I've made in the past, referring to when she burned
Stannis Baratheon's daughter.
Yeah, Stannis Baratheon's daughter. And
which Stannis was approved of.
Yeah.
He sacrificed his own daughter to try to win the battle.
And basically they're going back and forth, and Melisandre says, I've done all I can do. I'm going back to Volantis. And Varys pretty much says,
remember he says don't come back to Dragonstone.
Yeah, he says not to come back to Dragonstone and Westeros. And then Melisandre says, I have to.
Not Dragonstone. He says he's like, it actually might not be a good idea for you to come back to Westeros at all.
And then Melisandre says, well, I have to, because I've got to die here. And then she looks him dead in the eye and says, so do you. And then she just walks off.
And so, I mean, Varys has kind of always been playing,
both sides.
I mean,
well, not both sides exactly. But
he plays the winning side.
Yeah,
so
whichever side benefits him, which is exactly what Daenerys called him on
in the last episode, which we both have a theory, thinking that there might be a mole, because I find it pretty coincidental that
Euron
happens to show up exactly, like, he knows that Theon and Yara are heading over to
Dorne.
Yeah, they're heading to Dorne, and how because we know that it definitely wouldn't be Elena Tyrell, because she hates Cersei. Cersei killed her kids and her husband, and then Ellaria Tyrell or Laria Tyrell, she has no reason to help Cersei because of the fact that the Mountain killed Oberyn, and basically Euron has killed 2 of her daughters now. So the only person that would benefit by betraying Daenerys is Varys, and he's gonna do whatever he's got to do to survive, and so it would make sense if they're foreshadowing. Melisandre always has that insight. Basically, everything that she said, except for Stannis reclaiming the Iron Throne, has been true about Jon coming back, and about a lot of predictions and a lot of comments she's made have come to fruition somewhere down the pipeline of the show. And so if they're to be believed, I mean, Varys is going to die. Why would he die? I mean, he's too clever for his own good. It has to be that Daenerys is going to find out that he's basically been selling the secrets so that he can, basically be saved from Cersei's wrath. And then, of course, that's going to bite him in the butt, because then Daenerys is going to roast him with dragon fire.
Which is, I honestly cannot wait to see the dragons. Next episode, when Daenerys gets on Drogon and just lays waste to the Lannister army. I cannot wait for that moment in the next episode. It's going to be amazing.
Well, yeah, they said the next episode is going to be one of the biggest episodes. But before we move on to that, I mean, so Daenerys and Jon have their meeting. It doesn't go as planned. Jon, all he wants is to get back to the north to protect his people. Daenerys wants nothing more than to get, Jon to bend the knee, because she makes, through her intimidation and through her her supposed claim to the Iron Throne, she's like, I'm gonna have the Iron Throne, and basically you as being queen of the Iron, of the Seven Kingdoms, you are
in open rebellion.
And he's like, there is no open rebellion if all of us are dead. And so, I mean, they both have valid points. Daenerys wants the throne. She has made the most effort to get the throne, and Jon just wants to save the North, because if Jon doesn't save the North, then that's going to be a problem, because then the White Walkers get through, and then they're going to be a bigger problem. So the best course of action is to get,
everybody on the same page.
We'll get everybody on the same page, but stop the White Walkers from getting past the North. I mean,
so through that, and I don't know if you want to transition to this yet, but afterwards, Tyrion comes to basically offer a olive branch to Jon, so him and Daenerys can start forming some sort of an alliance. And Tyrion basically asks Jon for anything reasonable, and Jon asks for dragon glass, which Daenerys says to Tyrion, "Why are we talking about glass again?" Because she doesn't realize how valuable that can realistically be, with using it to make dragon glass swords and spears and stuff like that, so they can fight the White Walkers. And also, dragon glass plus dragon fire equals Valyrian steel. That's something else that nobody's really catching on to yet, because I mean, we don't know that yet, but I mean, we don't know if Valyrian steel swords are going to be forged again, but I think the writing's on the wall for that.
But the biggest thing to take away from it is that, he just wants something that he can use to take back to the North. This is the best, stepping stone for it to happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to have any problems. He wants to make allies with as many people as he can. He knows that he needs the most amount of people, because even with, the people, all the men in the North, including the wildlings and including the Knights of the Vale who are following Littlefinger, they still don't stand a chance, because without any type of weapons, then they're hosed. I mean, they can't,
unless Jon figures out a way to just kill every single one of them with his Valyrian sword,
which is not going to happen. And then, of course, Daenerys is not going to plot out, her dragons to the north when she needs them to, stay there in the south to take over King's Landing and to fight the army, because as of right now, those are her biggest, not MacGuffins, but those are her basically basically her ravens from the Lord of the Rings.
Like she's got basically,
or the Eagles, sorry.
well, she's basically got 3 nukes. Like she's basically got 3 nukes on standby.
Well,
kind of.
Well, if Cersei can hone those javelin launchers to good use, then those dragons are not going to be.
They
all
better
that
not
great.
turn into Rickhorn. Is all I'm saying. You better zig and you better zag.
So, but anyways, so moving on over, things don't bode well for Jon and Daenerys at the beginning of the episode. We leave them. We head over to King's Landing, where we see Euron dragging Yara and Elaria and the final Sand Snake to Cersei. He basically is like, "Listen, I did what I promised. I'm giving you the ultimate, present, which is justice. Justice for Cersei's daughter being killed by Elaria, and of course, that was out of retaliation for the Mountain killing Oberyn in season 4. So
Oberyn,
we have.
Fool, you should have just killed him. You shouldn't have mocked him. You should have just offed him.
I mean, Oberyn would have won if he wouldn't have been
You
gloating.
murdered her. And
Right.
then Crush.
So
You idiot.
So, anyways, he was he kind of deserved to die. I mean, at Game of Thrones, you can't. There's certain things you just can't do, and that's one of them. But anyways, he basically looks over at Jaime. He taunts Jaime.
I love it. It's like, can you give me any advice? Does she like it gentle or rough or?
Right. So,
It was just.
anyways,
Jaime-
it's just part of his charm. He's a very likable
Yeah.
person. And so, anyways, we see, Cersei basically is like, I promise, to basically marry you when the war is over. Euron kind of looks displeased. He was hoping for some sort of instant gratification in bringing back, all 3 of them to her. But then we cut back over to, the dungeons beneath King's Landing, and Cersei's got, the Mountain by her side, and then she's got Elaria and her, daughter chained to opposite sides of the wall.
That was a crazy. Gee, I didn't realize.
You could see it coming, because
Well,
it's the exact justice for what she's doing.
But I mean, I was saying, like, I didn't realize how crazy Cersei was until this scene. Like, I was watching it in depth and just, oh my goodness, she is a psychopath.
I saw that writing on the wall in way before. I mean, you obviously got to be a little cuckoo to be hooking up with your twin brother already. But then the fact that she blew up the Sept with her cousin, was saying she killed plenty of her own citizens. She killed, so many people. She blew up a huge portion of King's Landing with Dragonfire. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Ever since that point, I'm like, what took her over the edge is, her. It's her, shame and her mistreatment by the Sept and by the High Sparrow. And so after all that is said and done, I mean, she basically she snapped. I mean, but she was already at that point anyway. She was, because I mean, she and the Boltons and the Freys were all responsible. She was already conniving since the beginning to kill Robb, and she had a hand in killing Ned. So I've always known that she was, unhinged.
Well, anyways, let's move forward.
So basically, then we cut over to, the next part of Daenerys' campaign, which is the Unsullied. They've successfully made it to, Casterly Rock. But with a twist, they kind of show the Unsullied what it would be like for them to approach Casterly Rock the normal way, which is what everybody else would know about.
I think it wasn't what they.
No, it's what
would
they
be.
would have had to have done
Yeah.
if
And it
Tyrion
was-
hadn't given them that information.
And I thought they were doing it like they were no, I think what happened was they were attacking from the walls, and then Grey Worm and like a really.
No. Remember?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. What happened was not Theon. Tyrion is explaining to everybody back at Dragonstone. He's like, I'm sending the Grey Worm and the Unsullied. He's like, I'm sending them to Casterly Rock, but there's a catch.
I'm sending them through.
He's sending them through the
the
through the
sewers.
sewers, which is how he snuck in all the ladies of the night that he would spend and frequent his time with. Because remember, Tywin Lannister didn't approve of him
Yeah.
keeping ill company, and so. But basically, it's a misdirect for the audience because they think that the Unsullied are
Getting
basically
their butts
decimated,
kicked.
when in reality they're sneaking in through the sewers.
Little do we know here in about 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
continue.
So of course, while that's all happening in Casterly Rock, a lot of Unsullied are killed, but they managed to take over Casterly Rock with ease. Which they're like, there should
Wait
be
a
definitely
minute,
more
there
men.
should be more people, and then they
Bombshell.
realize. Then they turn around and see that Euron's fleet is blowing up all their ships. So there's that, and then we cut to Highgarden as we see the Lannister army coming towards Highgarden, and they cut to like after the battle's won, Jaime's walking towards Elena Martell, and you can see that
Basically, the Lannisters have completely decimated. It was a total mystery because you see them marching and you think that they're marching on Casterly Rock,
But they're
when
not.
it pans up and then you see it's not Casterly
It's
Rock, it's
Highgarden.
Highgarden. So Cersei plays into what she knows about Tyrion, knowing how he would operate because she knows her brother.
well, not
and so,
just that, but also because supposedly there's a mole.
Right. So
there's
well, we
that,
have
too.
that. We don't have that confirmed, but we have our suspicion because it makes too much sense that they are basically the Lannisters are cutting off and basically winning every single skirmish. They took out the Greyjoy fleet. Now
They've outsmarted
now
the
they
Unsullied.
outsmarted the Unsullied and taken out their ships and stranded them at Casterly Rock. And now you have them taking over the final piece, which is the Tyrells. So the Sand Snakes are done for, the Greyjoys are done for, and now the Tyrells are done for because
And the Unsullied are stranded on the other side of
Westeros.
So there's that. But let's talk about what happens inside Highgarden.
Well, that's the end of the episode. We see we'll come back to that.
Okay,
There's
okay.
still two big pieces of stuff that happens right in the middle of the episode. We go back to the Citadel, where we see that Samwell Tarly has successfully removed all of the grayscale from Jorah Mormont.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure it was just the climate that made him feel better. Pretty sure it
Ha
was just the climate.
ha. Yeah, we see that the headmaester at the Citadel, he tests Jorah Mormont. He sees that he's completely healed overnight, and he's like, "You're free to go. This place is for the sick and for the weary only."
The thing that got me about this whole plot thread, it kind of irritated me. This whole plot thread of him having grayscale was only like a 3-episode arc. That kind of made me mad because, I mean, grayscale's supposed to be this.
He had it He had it like all last season because
Yeah.
remember he was with when he was taking Tyrion. What was that season 6? I thought that was it was season 5.
Yeah.
Because remember they bumped into the those guys with the grayscale.
Yeah. The
Way back in
Stonemen.
the Stonemen.
in Valyria.
Yeah, and when he kidnapped Tyrion and took him to.
I meant
Daenerys.
I was saying that's what I meant. Like they played up him having dragon skull for 2 seasons, and then it just to pay off in just a 3 episode, just bang boom boom.
I mean,
is
do you
done.
really do? I mean, honestly, do you really want, with what little time we have left in Westeros? I mean, we are halfway through season 7. We have only a
6.
few.
Wait,
No,
no,
it's
season
season
7. My bad.
We're halfway through season 7, and then you only have, was it 6 episodes in season 8?
Yeah.
Do you really want to sit plotting out all this time with Jorah Mormont,
No.
or do you want to spend the time watching Jon and Daenerys and Tyrion fighting Cersei and the White Walkers? You want to stick to the big stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying they were like I was just
I
thinking
wanted
they
them to
were
wrap
gonna-
that. I wanted them to wrap.
I was
up
just
the
thinking they
whole-
were going to do it a little bit quicker because I mean a little bit just to stretch it out just a little bit because of how grayscale is like this incurable disease and they just sew it up, done, finished in 3 episodes.
Well, I mean, you have to understand. Like, look at Jorah Mormont at the end of season 6 when he is exiled again by Daenerys, and she's like, "You are basically, I'm sending you away because I want you to go find a cure." She's like, "You still are with me. You're
And
still part of.
now
You're still
he's-
one of my bannermen, but you are one of my knights. But you are. I need you to heal yourself." And so, in retrospect, he does what she asked, but he has to travel all the way from, because at that point they were still in Marine.
But
So he had to travel from Marine all the way to the Citadel, and so there's that big time jump of him traveling.
But I'm pretty sure at this point, like once he gets out, word's gonna he's gonna figure out that she's in Dragonstone. He's gotta go to Dragonstone.
Yeah, well,
So-
yeah. I mean, he's obviously he's going to know that, but what I mean is to respond to your point by saying, you know, that you felt like that should have kind of gone on a little bit longer. I mean, I felt like it needed to wrap up, honestly, because every time, to me, I love the parts with Samwell. He's a really endearing character, and I love Jorah Mormont. Like, he's been, you know, an amazing character. I mean, I love Captain Friendzone. I mean, he's great, but he's just, my biggest points of interest peak when you are with, you know, Daenerys, Jon, and Tyrion. I mean, we have the 3 of them, you know, with their interactions. I'm always like, you know, get back to that bits, because those
Yeah.
bits are always, you know, the really high points of the episode. You know, I was actually a little disappointed with episode 2 when it ended with the, you know, it ended on the Greyjoys. I kind of
Yeah.
wished it would have ended, you know, with, I thought it'd been better if they would have ended the episode with Jon making it to Dragonstone, and then him
going-
seeing Daenerys, and then that would have been, to me, a better cliffhanger. But anyways, but yeah, now segueing over to Winterfell, we finally get another big moment.
Stark reunion.
But
Sorry.
no, that's cool. I mean, I was really trying to guess, like, is it Bran or is it Arya? So
It wasn't.
kinda going-
I didn't think it was gonna be Arya because she's gonna show up probably in the next 2 episodes. I'm assuming, because the thing that got me about Bran coming back is like Sansa's like, "Oh my God, Bran's back," and then Bran's just like, "Hey Sansa,
He's just like,
how are you?"
you could tell Bran gives like.
Well, it's not
no
just that. I mean,
crabs that
he's
big.
basically turned. I mean, he's basically turned into a friggin' like Jedi or something. Like
He's the three-eyed Raven.
Yeah,
He's
so,
basically
like-
shirked off the Stark, you know.
yeah, he's not a
title.
I mean, he straight up tells Sansa when they're in the when they're with the weirwood tree that I mean, basically, I can't be
King of the North.
well, not King of the North, but like Lord of Winterfell because I'm a three-eyed Raven. And then Sansa's like, wait a minute, you're the what now? And I mean, let's be honest, Sansa's the only normal one out of the bunch.
Right.
Right.
You've got Jon the Resurrected, King of the North. You have Arya,
The baby-faced assassin.
no one, and then you've got
Frickin' Yoda, aka the three-eyed Raven.
Bran
when
Stark.
it comes to Bran.
and so yeah, Sansa's like the only. I mean, but given props to Sansa though, Sansa has like gone through like the ringer. I mean, yeah, Bran is paralyzed, Jon was stabbed multiple times, and Arya was blinded. But I mean, Sansa.
got her butt kicked by that faceless
The little-
person. Yeah,
yeah,
you know what I'm
but-
talking about.
yeah, but
I mean,
she-
she gets put through the ringer too. But,
But
in a different way.
Sansa's been through a little rough patch herself. But Yeah, I mean, Bran basically is like, I have no interest in what's going on, but he's basically he hasn't come for Sansa, and he hasn't
Came
really
for
he hasn't
Jon.
he hasn't even come for Winterfell. He's come
And
for Jon to tell
honestly,
him
I
his true
cannot
lineage.
wait. I cannot wait until Bran tells Jon. Because the moment that happens, Jon's whole world's just gonna
Well-
it's gonna be crazy as soon as he drops that bomb on him.
Well, here's the big thing you have to understand. Probably by that point, Jon and Daenerys are going to be together heading to the north after concluding their conquest of King's Landing in the south. They're going to head. That'll probably be the arc for season 8. The final season is him coming back.
Well,
and then-
no, I mean no, because we see that he's gonna go north of the wall sometime this season. Jon, Tormund, the brothers without banners. So we know sometime, and I'm assuming it's gonna be one of the last 2 episodes where he's gonna go north with that war party, and they get encircled by all those walkers, and well, we don't know what happens. So
Well, I can't wait. I want to see Jon and I don't know that he'll have Arya and Bran or any of them with him, but I'd love to see Jon and the Wildlings kind of team up with the Hound and the
Yeah,
Brotherhood without
that's
Banners,
gonna be fun.
and just have all of them just wreck and shop and just
Well,
mowing
I
down
mean-
White Walkers.
my prediction for that is Beric Dondarrion's gonna go.
He's gonna bite it
Well, not only is he gonna bite it, but
with his flaming sword.
yeah, he's got he
got a
might
flaming sword.
no, I think that might be Lightbringer.
That would be pretty cool.
And basically, I think here's my prediction: Jon's going to fall again. He's gonna die again, and Beric Dondarrion, his whole arc this season is him trying to figure out what his purpose is, because he doesn't really know what it is. I'm telling you, he's gonna give his life to bring Jon back. I've got
I
a
don't
feeling
think Jon will die again, though. I think that's I feel like you're kind of. That's
I mean, hey,
killing him, but because he even said, if I come back, don't bring me back again.
but
And he
that
said
was
that to,
but that was the
to
Melisandre.
Melisandre.
He didn't see that not Beric Dondarrion and the priest dude. Hey, I might be wrong. I probably am. But,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, I don't, as a fan of the show, I think it would be lazy writing for them to kill him again. I think you can have him lay down his life for Jon, or sacrifice himself to let them escape from the White Walkers, something to that nature, to have him finally have a gratifying death, since he never technically, he died, but he came back. Just don't kill Jon again. If you're going to kill him, either kill him in the series finale or don't kill him at all, because I just feel like that would be completely lazy on the creators to do that. But lastly, we see after the Unsullied are stranded at Casterly Rock, we see Jaime basically we see Jaime and the Lannister army make it to Highgarden. They corner Elena Tyrell and basically yo, you're done for, and she accepts her fate, but not
However-
without that last bit of nugget. So
mic drop.
Jaime gives her the poison, so she doesn't have to suffer a horrific fate, and we see that she finally admits,
Killing
Joffrey and poisoning, and so we see the memes of Jaime just.
I just I just love how she's a sassy grandma all
She had some of the
way
best lines.
to the end of the road.
She had some of the best lines.
So
With that, I think one of the best
that was one of the best endings that we've seen
especially for this season. I mean, we have.
so far.
I mean, this is only episode 3, and we have, what is it, 7 episodes or 8 episodes? on this?
7.
7? Okay. And so, but anyways, we see Elena and Jaime kind of having an exchange. There's this mutual respect between them, because Elena Tyrell is very well respected, and Jaime respects her enough to where he convinces.
He doesn't want to kill. Like he doesn't want to be the one to kill her.
Well, it's not that he doesn't want to be the one to kill her, but because he knows he has to. But it's the fact that he convinces Cersei, because Cersei wanted all these horrible deaths for Elena. It's like drag her through King's Landing, put her head on a pike,
behead her, yeah.
All these horrible
flare living.
Yeah, like they said, skin her alive and all that. And so he basically is like,
okay,
I'm gonna give you.
He's
I'm gonna give you poison. And she's like, will there be pain? And he's like, no. She lucks out. She gets like the best death.
No, well, not just that. I was like she took that down like she was taking a shot of whiskey.
Yeah, she was like,
go.
no.
I was like, okay.
I mean, she shot that poison down real quick, but
70 years old and can still take a good shot.
But not without a little bit of sass. I mean, we see that she basically she starts building to it. And just having that whole, big reveal that, we knew since season 4, since the Purple Wedding, that she's the one that poisoned Joffrey.
And I'm ready for the thug life memes. You know, the one with like sunglasses or whatever?
Oh, no, they've already had the Arthur memes of Jaime, because you know how he's lost his hand.
Oh my God.
They have the Arthur.
I need to find it.
They have the Arthur memes. The Arthur memes when he's like balling his fist up and it goes, it's literally nothing there, and it's like this Elena Martin, it's like Elena Tyrell goes, I killed Joffrey, please tell Cersei, and it just shows it empty, there's no fist, and I was like, you so wrong for that internet. I was like, oh my God.
The internet wins.
The internet wins always. So, but anyways, really awesome episode.
Yeah,
any comments on that?
No, it was a really good episode, and honestly, I cannot wait until Sunday can't get here.
God, but we're already at Wednesday. I mean, we're almost there. So I just want them. I was like, please, can we just have the whole episode just stick to John getting the dragon glass and something with Daenerys. But they're obviously gonna have to stick to a bunch of stuff.
But it's good. I just can't wait.
It's gonna be great. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. We hope you liked it. Let us know that you liked it by liking the video, commenting below, and subscribing to our channel for more future content from the Injustice Nerds Among Us podcast.
And look in the description below to follow us on Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram for behind-the-scenes videos and video updates.
And we really hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.
See you guys.